We are going back through the Assassin's Creed games, and we are picking out some of our favorite or the most innovative or just best, honestly, it's pretty much our favorite features and changes that each game made. And we are on to Assassin's Creed 2, a lot of people's favorite Assassin's Creed game, actually, and the first game to star Ezio. Now, this game we're going to cheat on a little bit, and we're going to pick 2, because we could not decide between 2 features. So before we hop further into it, if you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content, but let's hop right into it. I think the first one and the biggest one for us is introducing the idea of homesteads. Now, and I actually think this has one of, if not the best, most rewarding home bases in the entire series.
Yeah, I think the home base in this game is second only to the one in Valhalla. I loved Ravensthorpe in Valhalla. But Monteriggioni, amazing in this game. Not only did it introduce the idea of homesteads, because Assassin's Creed 1 didn't have that, but they also made the homestead really interesting. Sometimes in video games, whenever they introduce a concept, it's very bare bones and not interesting at all. And then future games after that add on to it and it becomes really cool. This was not that.
Right.
This was not that case. The one they introduced, yeah, it's bare bones, I guess, if you compare it to something like Valhalla's Homestead, but it still is super interesting and cool. You could buy and upgrade shops and different stores and different houses and different things like that. You could even buy a church, which you didn't really do anything.
Which is like the
it was kind of cool. Yeah,
it's the European dream to be able to own
a
church.
It's pretty cool.
Dictate what's said within it.
I know.
You could roleplay any Catholic bishop or
pretty epic. Yeah,
anything you wanted to in this game. I thought it was really cool how it also affected the world.
Yes.
So there were things in this game where you would buy a mine, for example, a mine shaft, and they would renovate a mine shaft and dig it out and open the entrance up from under the villa. And then you could go in there and you'd find secret chests and you'd be able to get money to then use to further upgrade. Also, the home itself is really beautiful.
Yes.
It's really well done. It improves over time as you renovate it. They had a whole 3D mini model in the game where you would work with an architect in order to fix up the house. And as you fixed it up, it was added onto, like you said. So you would go and you would buy collectible paintings in the world. And then those would be displayed in the art museum portion of your house. Every weapon you bought would go on a weapon rack that you could go and examine and look at. And then you could specifically pick it out too. You could go to your house, you could say, actually, I don't want this sword. You could walk up to a sword display and click it and say, I want this one. And he takes it off the shelf and puts his other one back on a different one.
And my favorite part of it, though, of the house specifically, is the underground secret assassin's lair. I thought that was awesome. Then you get Altair's armor down there. It was pretty cool. But
yeah, that's true. It tied into the Easter egg type hunt of this game.
Right.
Where you would go to all these assassin tombs, you would find the keys, and you'd bring them back to that downstairs area, and you would get Altair's armor.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So you were constantly coming back to this house.
And I loved how that downstairs section introduced 6 assassins to the Assassin's Creed world. One of them, actually 2 of them, the Ubisoft further advanced on, like Aya, and then also Darius showed up in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. But anyways, I really liked down there. It was so interesting. The first time I went down there and I looked at all the assassins and saw their names and what they did and so on, I was really excited. Like, it was just so cool because you go behind like this bookshelf thing and it's like, whoa, what is down here? And it was just amazing.
Can I add on to that too? Something really cool. Unfortunately, this villa was destroyed in the opening of Brotherhood, which really pissed us both off because you spend so much time and money building it up in Assassin's Creed 2. But something I love is that they built on the villa concept by allowing Desmond, Rebecca, Lucy, and Sean in the modern day to actually set up a home base there in Brotherhood.
Yes.
So you were actually able to go to this home base in Brotherhood, which I think is something we might talk about in the Brotherhood video, is the real world and how it did that in the game. But I really like how they actually added on to it, even in modern day where it was, now you're finding Ezio's artifacts, you're going around, you have your computers set up in the basement in that secret assassin lair. And this whole housing unit also played into the opening intro of Brotherhood as well. And it even came back in things like Assassin's Creed Embers. I mean, the Monteriggioni Villa is very important to the character of Ezio. It's like the thing that grounds him.
Yes, grounds him.
It grounds him to a normal life as well.
Yep.
You know, a lot of the assassins, they need this kind of thing. You know, they started introducing it with this game, and then 3 had it, 4 had it. Eventually, you know, you keep adding on, you get to Valhalla. I thought this idea of having a central location you have to keep returning to that changes, it even added, I thought it helped ground the assassin, but it even added in things as you would get different targets. Remember how their paintings would go up in Ezio's office?
Yeah.
Up in the attic?
Yeah, I remember that.
That was amazing.
Yeah, and they did add that feature back in Assassin's Creed 3, how you could see the paintings of the targets down in the basement. But yeah, no, this was really cool. Assassin's Creed 1, personally, when I played through that game, it was kind of disappointing because you have this feature throughout a lot of Assassin's Creed games. It's not just one. But you kind of go to a world, you do your assassination, you do all the missions and so on, but there's not really a place that you can return to. Like Masyaf, yeah, you can return to it and you can do training things and walk around, but you're not really upgrading things. Mm-hmm. You're not personalizing Masyaf. It's just a place you can go to.
Yeah, you just live there.
Yeah.
You're not in control of anything.
Whereas with Monteriggioni, it's a place you're actually personalizing. You feel like you're part of the world. You feel like you are owning this place, you're upgrading it, you're buying what you want to buy, you're doing whatever. This is your home base. This is your house, basically. Mm-hmm. And it did a really good job making you feel that way.
Yeah, and I also think, too, that it was a really good template for the future. You know, like we already said, it shows up in the modern day. And then, of course, it was obviously an inspiration for Achilles' House in 3. And then that went on to be an inspiration for Edward's Island in 4. And then so on and so forth. I think eventually with something like Valhalla, like you said, they got better into the actual customization of what do I want to put here? What do I want to put here? Not just now I'm buying this and now it goes here. Mm-hmm. But I do think this was a really good template for the future of that. Do you have anything else to say about this before we hop on to our next one? Because for me, this is a shining example, I would say, of something that brings me back to AC2.
Right, yeah, you're excited to upgrade Monteriggioni.
Yeah, even if I've done it before. I just think it's really fun.
The part 2 we had for our favorite feature of Assassin's Creed 2 is double assassinations. Now, double assassinations are something that do return in the franchise. This obviously was not in Assassin's Creed 1. And surprisingly, it's not in Assassin's Creed Mirage, which I found kind of weird, personally. But double assassinations were introduced in AC2, and this is such a nice feature.
Yeah.
Because there's so many times that were in Assassin's Creed 1 and like I said, Mirage, where you'd have 2 guards that are kind of near each other, and you couldn't assassinate both of them. So you had to just randomly assassinate one of them, and then the other one would inevitably see you. Mm-hmm. But in AC2... specifically, they introduced this concept where you could actually assassinate both guards if they're, close enough to each other. And I don't know, it was just pretty interesting. It was pretty cool.
What's funny about this is it also plays into the iconography of AC2. You now have 2 blades.
Yeah, right.
And they even show that in a lot of the promotions for it, of Ezio not just having one hidden blade extended, but having a second one. And it sounds like such a simple feature. By now, people who played Assassin's Creed, they're going to be like, well, of course, double assassinations.
Right.
When this launched, it was actually game-changing for the franchise. Like you said, it changed engagements completely. If you were up above 2 people and there were 2 people next to each other, you could now jump down and air assassinate both of them at the same time, even. You could walk up and get 2 people in a crowd next to each other immediately.
Yeah.
It changed the flow of combat. They even improved the hidden blades, I would say, to actually add them to combat. Mm-hmm. In the first game, pretty much all you can do with them is assassinate or counter, and the counter timing is very specific. But I thought that with this game, they really did a lot to improve the hidden blades with these features and even tie it into the story where they go back and they kind of, I would say, celebrate Altair's achievements, because you find out that Altair, a lot of people make this mistake. They think, well, Leonardo's the one who fixed the hidden blade. No, Altair fixed the hidden blade. He used the codex, or you find out in the codexes, he used the apple and the knowledge from it to improve the hidden blade. We later see in Revelations when he returns to Masyaf, which everybody gets mad at me for how I say. Do you say it Masyaf?
I say Masyaf.
Okay.
I don't know how, I guess I don't know.
Masi.
There's going to be like literally the linguistic expert in the comments section that gets mad at it.
Yeah.
But I have no idea.
But when he goes back there in Revelations, he has one hand where he's missing a finger, and he has his original hidden blade, or a replacement on there. And then he has his other hand, if you look closely, he's not missing a finger.
Right.
So even as an old man, Altair had already gotten this down. And then they tie into AC2 that Leonardo uses Altair's knowledge from the Codex to then improve the hidden blade so that Ezio does not have to have his finger cut off. And that was actually a big revelation in the game, because it was a big deal that in the original game, you know, they were missing a finger in order to have this hidden blade. And then in 2, they actually tie it into the cutscenes and the story, and then you find out all that stuff about Altair. I thought they just did a really good job with the hidden blade in 2 in general.
Yeah, well, and the double hidden blade feature of Assassin's Creed 2 even shows up in Mirage. Because they even had that note you could find that talks about, hey, I have this idea. What if we have 2 blades? Mm-hmm. You know, so it shows that they're even introducing the concept before AC1.
So, you know, the hidden blades have tied very heavily into the series over time. And I think it's really cool to see the evolution of them, and to see that Assassin's Creed 2 was kind of the start in game development, I should say, maybe not in universe, but in development of the games, that really expanded on this feature and made it a lot more in-depth. And then, you know, they went on to experiment a lot with them. There's different types of hidden blades later on. You know, there's different, like the hook blade and different things like that. And all of that started originating from the creativity of AC2. These are probably our favorite features about Assassin's Creed 2. It's hard to pick because there's just so many amazing ones. But Nate, I love this game.
Same.
I think it's just fantastic. Let us know what you think in the comments down below about AC2. What was your favorite feature from the games? What do you think that this game did going forward that affected the series? Because that's another question I think is interesting. Let us know. We appreciate you very much. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, we did play through Assassin's Creed 2 on our Let's Play channel, Degenerate Plays. The link is in the description down below to that channel. We also played through Brotherhood. Near future, we are going to be playing through AC1. So we've been kind of working our way through the series there. Hope you'll check that out. Have a fantastic day. And as always, everyone, stay shui.